All right. So, those of you here, voices lessons. Our lesson today, I'm not going to do much talking at all. I'm just going to explain it to you guys and let you go for it. So, I'm going to present my screen. For today, you should now have a new assignment that's called Flashback Writing. So you guys can get that document opened up. I would also suggest maybe opening up the story that we worked on, the fun they had, so that you have both. Because you're going to be writing like a kind of a short story based off of the ideas that are given in the one that we read, just the fun that they had. All right, so I'll give you guys a minute to get both of those open. I'm just going to explain what sections that you need to make sure you have done under the fun they had that will be graded.
Do it have to be some paragraphs?
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
All right.
So, under making meaning, when we were going through this story, you should have finished the comprehension check. Incomplete sentences. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, I think. Maybe 7, depends on how many points we give for number 3 or number 5. But the comprehension check is one that you need to make sure that you complete. It is a grade that's going to go in your 4th quarter grades. So one of the very first grades in your 4th quarter. So make sure that comprehension check gets done. The other one that you need to make sure you have completed is under language development, the conventions with the verbs. This is, again, another one that's going to go in 4th quarter's grades. And be one of the first grades in 4th quarter. So you just kind of want to make sure you start out strong and you're not starting out with zeros, because that's not a very fun way to start your last quarter of 6th grade. So that one I think is 4, so 8, maybe like 10 to 15 points. I'm not entirely sure how many that is, but make sure you get that one completed. So those are the 2 graded sections on this one. Comprehension check, conventions. And then for today and tomorrow, if you don't finish it, we are working on this flashback writing. So when you open up that one, the directions say, write a flashback from the point of view of Margie's great-grandfather as a young boy. First of all, what is a flashback?
A flashback is where you have the memory of something.
Good. A flashback is where you go back in time, right?
Yep.
So if you are watching a TV show and the main character has a flashback to earlier in their life, it's back in time. So Margie is the main character in our story. Margie is the young girl who hates school, doesn't like the robot teacher, and is like, wow, they had like real teachers and they interacted with other kids in the old days, meaning nowadays. So you are going to write a flashback about Margie's great-grandfather. So you are basically going to be Margie's great-grandfather. And let me finish. You're acting like you're Margie's great-grandfather, and you're going to explain these couple of things. It says to make sure that you include what school was like. To be honest, you guys should be able to explain that very easily because the flashback, it should be around this time period. You know what school is like because you are in school. So you should be able to explain what school was like. You can talk about it in terms of COVID times if you'd like to, or you can talk about it before COVID times. Either one works, or you can do both. But school is different now than they have it in the future. So talk about what school is like, what did they do outside of school, and why was school better back then? So why would Margie's grandfather like school? You want to make sure that you include a little bit of dialogue, which is like talking to each other. So in books, when you see quotations and it's like, Margie said, blah, blah, blah. Joe, what is the other kid's name? Tommy said, blah, blah, blah. That's dialogue. They are speaking to each other. So make sure you include a little bit of dialogue, as well as some detailed descriptions. I don't want you to just say they walked. They went to the store. They went to school. Give me descriptions. Don't just like short little sentences. I want to have detailed descriptions about what school was like. What do they do outside of school for fun? All kinds of things like that. And then I want you guys to write at least 4 paragraphs, and each paragraph should be at least 5 sentences. So that means you're writing at least 20 sentences. Skylar, that's for your mother, not for you. I'm aware that you're looking. I asked you not to. Put it away and put it in your backpack, please.
Yeah, that's what she said to me that last time too.
So, yeah, take it home, give it to your mother. So this is basically you're writing a short story about nowadays, which you should be able to do because you live in the now, in the present, that they think is the past. You're telling a story from the point of view of Margie's great-grandfather, who, yeah, basically, what was school like? What do they do outside of school? And why was it cool back then to have real teachers and things? Yeah, you can do Times New Roman. Make sure the font is legible. If you do change the font, don't do it in some fancy cursive that's difficult to read. So, yeah, just make sure you write at least 4 paragraphs, and they should be at least 5 sentences long. But that is your assignment for today and tomorrow for ELA. You're taking about 2 days to write this. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Now's the time to ask if you do have any questions about this, or are we all good? Yeah.
This is great-great-grandfather.
Okay.
Wait, why? Why would they? Because Margie's grandfather once said that when she was a little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when all stars were printed on paper.
Okay, well, I missed a few greats in the great-grandfather, but you're still writing back in time, so it's okay. So, I will put on a little bit of music and let you guys just be working on your writing assignments. Okay?